Hi guys!
Hello!
And here we go again. This time we're going to talk about what surprised me with your cultural background and vice versa.
Yeah, exactly, about the differences between our cultures,
Yes.
right? I think it's important to say that we will not generalize and we will not say that these are the differences between all the French and all the Russians.
Maybe just a little.
Just a little. No, but it's really the difference between us and probably... right? It will also apply to our cultures.
I mean, you can compare with all the French, you know.
Yeah.
If there is like some, similarities. Same for me with the Russians.
So again, as
Yes.
in the previous video, we decided to do exactly the same thing as last time when we talked about Denmark. We've prepared 3 points each. We haven't told each other what the points are,
No.
and we're just gonna go in turns and share them.
Perfect.
Yeah?
Who starts this time?
You start.
Okay, last time was you. That's
Yeah.
fair. The first one for me was about food, actually.
I have exactly the same point.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, so the thing I notice every time I want you to try something is
Yeah.
that you always go for the plain or easier way. And for me, it is really sort of a cultural shock because...
Can you elaborate? What do you mean?
Well, I give you an example.
Yeah,
If I have a piece of mature cheese that is very, how to say, getting more taste with age, like, I don't know, Comté, I would take it when it's been matured for, I don't know, 30 months. Usually you would tell me, oh, no, I will go for the 6 months. And for me, it's like, what's the point? I mean, you have the one that's been matured super long. It's way more tasty, way more... So... it's not always true. It's also a matter of taste. But I must admit that many times I've been thinking, okay, she's just missing it. And the same goes with, like, I don't know, once I had like cold cuts from Corsica. I know it's super tasty. It's like way more tasty than the usual cold cuts that you would find, and not even here, like in general. And I know that that wouldn't be a go-to for you.
Okay.
And same I noticed with your family, so that's why for me it became a thing.
Interesting. I have the same point, but I have a little bit of different angle to
I'm curious to hear.
So I agree with you that our cuisine in general,
No, absolutely, yes, of course.
That our kitchen is generally more plain than yours, and we have less.
But that's not what I'm saying. Huh? I love Russian cuisine, and I love the Russian food scene. Like
that's also not what I'm saying. I love our food, but I think we generally have very mild flavors. Like we don't have a lot of spices. We don't have, things like this. But actually, my point on food was more about culture. Around how you see food, how you treat food.
C'était une... Non, c'est rien.
Ça y est. For example, I'll give you an example. The concept of apéro.
Oh yeah, okay.
Which is, let's maybe just briefly say, right, for the ones who don't know.
It's like a big appetizer before the actual meal. And you usually take it in an informal way with a drink. But the point is not to cut your appetite, and I guess that's where you're heading.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So there are usually some cold cuts and some cheeses and some small snacks, right? And you have a little drink.
Yes.
And the thing is that's how you start the meal.
Yeah.
Oftentimes, right?
Yes.
Especially on the weekends, right? Especially when you gather the family.
Yeah.
And that's how you... And then you have like a 3-course meal.
Getting to the table can be in itself a long process.
Yes.
And I've read, I don't really experience it with your family, maybe because I'm like part of the family now, but it seems like in Russia it's more normal to arrive and the guests go to the table right away and are served right away.
Yes, exactly. So everything is prepared.
No, we can't do that.
In
France, you will always get a drink before. That's for sure.
That's something.
And the drink goes with an apéro.
And on top of it, I think as kids, we're always told that if we eat something before our meal, this is called breaking the appetite. So it's like, no, you cannot have anything.
Believe it or not, we have that too.
Okay, no, now I'm lost.
It's just that apéro doesn't, it still works with apéro somehow. So we don't have a problem. No, it's fine.
And in general, I think this is one of the examples with apéro, but in general, how you kind of sit down and you have the food and you enjoy the food. And there's a lot of things about knowing your products, knowing which region the product comes from. I think this is something that we...
How to eat it also.
How to eat, And like all those small things that come with it. And I think you truly enjoy. What I think one of the big surprises for me was also, for example, you're having breakfast in the morning, you're already talking about the next meal. Like, what are we going to have for lunch?
You know how that sounds?
No, but seriously, but I think the first impression is that, oh my God, there's so much food.
Yeah.
And changing your perspective also first time when I came to your family, and there's like always food on the table, and you just... like learning how to control yourself, contain yourself, and not overeat is
don't control it.
But that's what you say. But in fact, you kind of do you just do it somehow naturally. And I think so. This was the my angle on food.
Fair enough. That's a good point, I think. Then go ahead for the next one.
My turn.
Yeah.
So the next point I had was about, it's not really how social you guys are. In comparison to us, but I feel like we are a little bit colder as people generally, especially with people we don't know. Like we keep a little bit of a distance. We as soon as we know people, we kind of get into it. But I feel like in France you're a lot more open. Maybe it's because you come from the south.
No, I don't think so.
I don't know if it's the regional differences here.
No. You'll experience way, maybe not warmer, but super warm people in the north of France. That's absolutely not a southern thing. You would even find a lot of people that find northerners way warmer than
that's very
people from the south. Yeah,
so it's not original.
I see what you mean, and I think we have maybe a more natural tendency to speak to each other. I don't know if you are with someone alone on a bus or on a train. There might be, if the context favorizes it, then there might be this casual conversation, which is not just about the weather, but actually speaking to someone maybe more easily than you guys do. That's possible.
Yes, I think so. Because it starts already with, of course, it's with people you know, but you start kissing everyone. Like, right? This
no, that's different.
That's different. But that's already for me.
You want to go into the cheek kiss rule?
No. I think this deserves a separate video.
There is one thing you can say about that.
Yeah.
If you ever join a group where you don't know a lot of people, but yet you're invited because you know someone, you might end up cheek kissing absolutely everyone. And that's a social norm. That's totally okay.
Because also I remember when we came to France, when we came together for the first time, and everyone was kissing me, and I'm like, okay, why are you touching me? Like almost this kind of. For us, it's really the opposite. I especially when you grow up in a big town, in a bigger city. Yeah. I think you don't even talk to your neighbors. Like you don't talk to people. You don't. Like you really.
I mean, let's be honest. In big cities, it's also more or less the case.
Okay.
But again, depending on the context, you might end up speaking to people you don't know way more easily in France than in other places. I must admit. Yeah. And I bet it's even more the case the more south you go in Europe. But here I don't know. I don't want to generalize too much.
No. But it's interesting. I think that was definitely for me a surprise when I came to France, and I thought, okay, wow, that's different here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one.
Back to you?
Yes. So my next one is actually also more or less on social aspects, but it's more about the fact that we are way easier when it comes to talk about politics or society in general. We are really not shy with those topics.
We like discussion.
Yes,
right? That's
we like discussion and debate. I think very much so.
Yeah, exactly,
and I think it's very, very ingrained and deep in the culture that we debate every society issue. We have an opinion on everything, with at the same time a real shy, if not taboo, on speaking out your political opinions, you know that we never talk about salary in France like the Americans do, apparently. I don't even know if that's really true, but we don't. It's very much a taboo, but political opinions as well. However, we discuss the issue.
That's really funny.
And and there is a whole game about discussing it without revealing too much what you think. It's like it can be absolutely crazy. It's an art, absolutely.
It feels like it.
why I brought this point is because I have a feeling that for you, it's the taboo is just about discussing the society issues or having political opinions. You don't hear anything usually.
I think some people do. I think, of course, let's not generalize, but I think, I feel that too, especially in comparison. So when you come to France, like it's also
every TV show, right? It's it feels like it's everywhere. Those debates.
I think maybe we are a bit more afraid of conflicts, and you feel like, okay, if you're going that direction, you might kind of lose the relationship with people, and I think maybe that's why we're a little bit more reserved when it comes to such topics.
I think in France everyone knows who is leaning towards which end of the political spectrum, but without ever saying it.
Just on debate. And it's really, I think, even for coming from my culture, in the beginning it was even a little bit scary because I felt like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna what if I'm saying something wrong?
Yes.
And in fact, no, that's not how it works. And I think with time, also talking to you and when we start discussing things, you kind of learn to relax and realize that it's actually fun.
Yes.
Right? I think that's what I learned.
There's no point fighting about it.
No,
I think it's about
it's not about conflicts. Absolutely not.
It's not about trying to convince anyone.
No.
It's way more about understanding different point of views, understanding that there are different point of views, and that's totally okay.
Yeah.
I would be very curious to see in the comments, wherever you're from, what is the culture around discussing not only politics, but even general society issues in general. That I would be super interested to
let us know. That's actually very cool.
And back to you.
Okay, so then we already covered almost. I only have 1 point left.
Yeah, me too.
Makes sense? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so my last point is something that is called in French sous-entendu.
Okay. So that and I realized that I have it too. So I guess.
Then we discuss.
Let's do it together. That's fine.
Perfect. But I think we need some explanation here.
Yeah. So sous-entendu basically means to imply. When you imply something without saying it out loud.
So it has something to do with your communication, the ways you communicate, and what you kind of read between the lines. I would say, no.
Exactly. And the thing is, it exists in every language, obviously. You can imply something without saying it in any culture. That's very common. The thing is, I have a feeling, since I know you, because before I was not aware, I wasn't aware of that. I have a feeling that we overuse it, like we abuse it.
Oh, this is. I feel like it's extreme.
So maybe you actually should take this one and let's just go with it, because. Okay, I was just about to say that since I know you, this has become obvious to me that I am constantly over-interpreting when there is sometimes nothing special.
No, exactly. And I think that
and for people that are super direct, like the Danes or I don't know, Dutch people maybe as well, I guess that must be misleading more than
exactly.
often.
I think that exactly when you talk with when you have a conversation with cultures like the Nordic, right, the Scandinavian cultures, which tend to be more direct, and you still try. What I see is that you still try to interpret something that they might have meant, and I'm like, oh, come on,
because that's what we do.
Exactly, because it's so deep.
Don't everyone do that?
No.
Oh, okay.
And I think in Russia we have it slightly. Okay. We sometimes mean something and we kind of understand each other.
And it's really not the same as sarcasm, which is like the fundament of Danish humor, but not only Danish. I think the UK humor is also known for that, but it's not that. It's not even trying to be funny. Actually, quite the opposite. It's usually rather negative when you have this idea of sous-entendu. It's like, okay, what did he mean exactly? You know?
But because sometimes you say, oh, this person said this, and that. But I think he meant. I'm always like, okay, wait. He said what he meant.
That is tough for me.
Right?
Yeah, very often. I just need to clean my overthinking around this.
And you've been here for like almost 7 years, and you still try to interpret.
No, I've been here for more than 8 years.
It's me who's been here so long. No, but the thing is that also what I find interesting is, since I've lived in Europe since more than 15 years now, and my previous country was Holland, so the Netherlands.
Yeah.
They also
very direct culture, another very direct culture.
Exactly.
Now you date a French,
and
amazing.
And I'm just so used to that, I think, that I really changed, even though in our culture it's a little bit different, I just adapted to it and I actually learned to like it. Because it's just so easy. People just say what they mean. Yeah. And you don't need to guess. You don't need to think, oh, maybe they didn't like it actually. If they don't like something, they will just tell you.
For
and
me,
this is so easy.
I'll be completely honest. I think after 8 years, I'm still adapting. I'm not there yet.
Yeah. So basically, I think I changed my behavior, my perception of this as well. And so when we talk, we sometimes also have like this misunderstanding of things. But now we of course know each other a bit better, so we kind of guess if there is a misunderstanding, right?
Yeah, guessing. It's the art of guessing.
No, exactly. And it's just so... Yeah, there is intonation. There are so many things that are involved in this, and you really...
I think there's a lot of things we can imply by the intonation indeed, where you would maybe, since you have a language with cases, maybe you would just move the words around and that would give a different color to the sentence. I don't know.
We do have it, but not to the same extent. To the same extent. Okay. And I just like how sometimes you interpret, like if we watch a French movie, or if even if we see a French text somewhere, and I read it and I understand it completely differently just because of that. And that's why French language is also so complicated.
No, exactly. It's not just in my head. It's a real thing, and I think it's also we're talking about the humor that is maybe based on sarcasm in Denmark, or at least known for that. For us, it's really about the meaning that is not expressed in a very clear way. There is a lot of second meaning in what we say, in what we write even, and that's also how we learn to live and communicate and even make jokes. So that's how we do.
Yeah, that's very impressive. But this is it for me.
This is it for me as well.
Interesting. Okay, but I guess agreeing on basically all 3 points means that these were the most. They're really the biggest differences.
I was almost disappointed at first that we had the same point, and I thought, okay, this is going to be quick. In the meantime, I find it interesting. It means that we probably put a finger on something that is actually real. So,
I guess so. I guess.
Thank you for watching. And if you have yourself experienced this kind of misunderstanding, misleading because of cultural differences, we would love to hear and to read about it in the comments. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.